Well, it's good news for those of us with a sweet tooth in the French capital. The Paris Chocolate Show gets underway this Wednesday. The event features live demonstrations and competitions, while cocoa producers, major brands and food bloggers will also be present. To talk more about all things chocolate, pastry chef and chocolate maker Nicolas Botomissi joins me in the studio. Thank you very much for speaking to us. Thank you.
Thank you for welcoming me.
For you, is the Paris Chocolate Show simply a moment of indulgence and enjoyment, or is there more that we can learn from going to this event and learning about cocoa production and new technologies and techniques?
For me, this is really the place to be and the place to go if you love chocolate. Of course, there is indulgence, but there is two shows. There is one in the second floor, is for gourmet, for all you can see all the makers like myself, and in the ground level you have the B2B, which is more about cocoa producer, machinery. And as I'm a consultant, I don't have a pastry store. My shop is only for 5 days during the show. So normally I consult for pastry shop, for chocolatiers, for makers, for industries as well. So I'm happy to go on both salons for the gourmet, for the indulgence, and on the ground floor for the machinery and the producers and the makers.
And your job for some might be like a dream job. How did you get into the chocolate industry?
Because I love chocolate. Who doesn't love chocolate? I started this 24 years ago. So my parcours is, I started in France, and I was working in hotel and restaurant in Paris, like the Four Seasons Hotel Georges V. And I moved to Tokyo, where I was pastry chef for a known chocolate brand, which is Valrhona. I was pastry chef trainer for professional in Japan and in USA, where I live now. And since 6 years ago, I started to travel the world to help my peers to elevate their chocolate work in pastry as well. And I'm happy to come to Salon du Chocolat as well to show what I can do with my packaging and my vision of chocolate.
Well, as you mentioned, you've worked in several different countries, France, the UK, US and Japan. How, in your experience, have you found that different cultures approach chocolate differently?
So I've worked now for my consulting work in more than 25 countries. And what I love is we all share the passion for chocolate making, to craft with our hands. For example, here you show my online classes where I show how to do a chocolate shiny without anything. I'm really focused on no coloring, being natural. And what I love is to be able to craft with our hands something different. And of course, we will adapt according to the culture. We will adapt the sweetness, the size. For example, in Japan, you say we have something a bit smaller. In the Middle East, it will be a bit bigger. And where I live in USA is where it's really outstanding, and what I really love and learn about is how to talk about, how to showcase our work, because there is a lot of things we do in our lab, in our pastry lab or chocolate, which seems normal to us, but in a way it's not for everyone. When we melt chocolate, when we want to craft something, when we have an idea, for example, I love vanilla, when I try different type of vanilla from Tahiti, from Madagascar, from Mexico, it seems normal to us, but it's not. And in USA, I've learned how to showcase it. So it's really, we have the same passion worldwide, but we will picture it or paint it in a little bit different way to adapt to the final customer, of course.
But even the ritual around chocolate is different in different cultures. Maybe in Western cultures, like here in France, it's more of like a celebration or a sweet treat. But
yes.
I mean, chocolate's been around for a long time, and it's has a different place in other more ancient cultures as well.
Yes, exactly. And there is, I will quote Eri Ikeji, who made the Bible about chocolate. She's Japanese, but she took 7 years to talk about chocolate. She has a 750 page of chocolate to say that French elevate the chocolate. And as a French chocolate maker, I'm happy to go abroad and to showcase this know-how, this French know-how, and to be able to share what I've learned in adapting every time when I travel. I like to discover the countries, to discover the culture, to adapt, to be really humble, because there is a technique, yes, but we don't know everything all the time. So it's really important to adapt, to see what people want in order to deliver what they will really appreciate. Because as you said, we don't eat and enjoy the chocolate at the same time of the day in France, in USA, in Middle East or in Japan. So it's really cultural, and we have to find the right balance to please everyone, because it's all about indulgence and being happy.
And your work involves a lot of training and teaching. What for you is the most important thing when you're trying to pass down this knowledge and skills?
Yes, exactly. I train a lot of people, maybe around 700 people a year. For me, the most important is to be able to be sure that I can share and pass on the right message. We don't have to deliver everything. I will really focus on what people want in order for them to be happy and to be able to read you. So I bring shortcuts. And I like to be efficient, so we prepare before I arrive. And when I arrive, I always like to go on really a specific item on specific topics. For example, if I go for chocolate, I will go and set up a chocolate line to be sure the chocolate is shiny, crispy, appealing, or to balance the recipe. For example, they say, oh, we are happy with the recipe we have, we want a better texture, a smoother texture, we want a sharper taste, and I always love to adapt with a local taste. So I always learn when I travel. That's why I love to travel, to meet gourmet around the world, because we always do this, because we love to do something with our hand and to please people with chocolate.
And how can the cocoa and chocolate industry adapt now as we're seeing that climate change is having quite an impact on cocoa production? Yes,
this is a talk we all have right now, and I was having yesterday evening at the opening as well. It's a really complicated situation because, as you know, the cocoa market has really changed in the last few years with the price increase, with the conditions, with being more aware. So the part we are doing, and I'm doing as a chocolatier, I'm a maker, because I produce for the Salon du Chocolat right now, I'm in booth D25, is to have 100% cocoa butter chocolate, to source all my cocoa. I can tell you from everywhere where my product comes, and to be as fair as possible. I try to go and visit the plantation and to be involved and to know what people can do to make it even better, and there is a lot of work to do still.
All right, and I'm delighted to say that you've brought some things into the set today to show us. What have you brought with you?
So I brought a little panel of what I do. So everything you see is colored, but there is no coloring. Because for me, if there is a color, there is a taste. So as I told you, I used to work in Japan. My wife is Japanese. So this is matcha, high-end matcha, which is green. And if we leave with the sun, it might fade out. So this is mold balls. This is dragé, what you showed before on the video. Living in America as well, I brought popcorn to be the indulgence, to talk to people. Pecan nuts, a small variety, which is the Elliott variety, which we don't find in France. It's a really small variety. And one of my best sellers, which I'm really happy, I started last year for Salon du Chocolat. It was, I sold out in 2 days. It's potato chips with chocolate. So every time I give something this to someone, they're like, what is it? Is it truffle? They always don't know what it is. And when I tell them it's potato chips, where I specifically pick a chocolate. So this is from Brazil to have a good balance. And then as well, as I'm pastry chef, I like to bring the gourmet side in the chocolate. So this is a chocolate tart, which is we can be kept as chocolate a longer time with praline, caramel, and chocolate from Ghana, where there is a good balance. But I like to find this gourmandise, we say in French, indulgence, in the chocolate. The same here, a little sablé. And bars, I did 52 bars, so origin, from different cocoa, always all well sourced. And the field, this one is with jam and strawberry, so strawberry jam, not sweet, strawberry jam. And this one uses passion fruit. Here, for example, the color I told you I use natural. This is pumpkin.
Okay.
This is a theme because now we are going soon to Halloween.
Very interesting. I'm very much looking forward to tasting this during our short break. And just a reminder to the viewers, the Paris Chocolate Show runs until the end of this weekend. You can find delicious things like what Nicolas Botomissi has brought on set to show us today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to you for watching. We're going to take a short break. More news is up next on France 24.